Our verse today is from Peter's first letter to the early churches. Therefore, prepare your minds for action. Discipline yourselves. Set all your hope on the grace that Jesus Christ will bring you when he is revealed. That's what the New Revised Standard Version translates Peter's words as. A more literal translation of the Greek is in the New King James Version. Therefore, gird up your loins of your mind. Be sober and rest your hope fully on the grace that is to be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Gird your loins means literally to wrap a belt around your waist so that your clothes don't flap around. Bible scholars think that Peter chose these words because he had in mind the instructions that Moses gave to Israel as they prepared their escape from Egypt. They were to eat the Passover meal with a belt on your waist, sandals on your feet, and the staff in your hand, so that they were ready for an immediate departure out of Egypt and into a new life.
Well, happy Easter week to everyone that's watching this. Easter comes obviously at the beginning of spring, and it's a beautiful spring evening now. I've taken my bike up onto the downs just beyond Aldworth. You can see the sun setting. Oh, there it is over there. Well, you can't see it, but it is setting, I can assure you, and that's the orange light that's coming on. The highest point in the benefice is just over there on that ridge beyond the Ridgeway, and it's a beautiful, beautiful evening. We can see the Ridgeway just winding its way up from the Thames Valley there. You can clearly see now the path on the left-hand side of the picture. The Ridgeway's been used since prehistoric times, sometimes by travellers, sometimes herdsmen, soldiers, people travelling individually, groups of people migrating from different parts of the country. You can just see the red kite actually that just popped into the screen there. It's one of the ancient paths of England, used by people travelling, migrating between different parts of the country. And just over to the screen on the left hand side is the highest part of the Basildon benefice. Exodus 12 describes how the people of Israel got ready for their big migration. They had their Passover meal, and then they were ordered to have their sandals on their feet, have their staff in their hand, and their cloak tucked into their belt, ready for the journey. And interestingly, that's much of the same language that Peter uses when he writes this letter to the early Christians. As the people of Israel ate their Passover, they could look forward to a new hope, a hope of being free from the slavery of Egypt, a hope of going out on their own and being responsible for their own destiny. In a way, we've all been enslaved for the last year with the pandemic. Some of us have been constrained in our houses, not being able to get out. Others have been able to get out a bit, but none of us have really been able to mix socially with our friends, families, with other members of our church. We haven't been able to worship together. But there is a hope out there, hope for Easter, as we've described it. And that hope is something that we can prepare for in the way that Peter tells us to.
Therefore, gird up the loins of your mind. Be sober and rest your hope fully upon the grace that is brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ.
So just as the people of Israel never really knew what their new life was going to be like as they migrated out of the desert, we're here at this Easter with the hope that there is going to be a new life in front of us, but not sure what it will be like. Some of us will have lost jobs. Some of us will be doing a different job. Some of us won't have seen friends or family for a long time. For others, it's going to be strange returning perhaps to worship in church. And I'm sure church is going to be different for some time to come. We don't really know what the future is, but we know that we can still have a hope in our God, a hope in God that will be with us. And that hope is based on the certainty of the risen Jesus, who died for us so that we can be with God and have that relationship with him through whatever the future has for us. Have a good Easter week.